Hey, what's up everybody? This is the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. I am AJ Gels, and this is some of my pre-coverage for Assassin's Creed Syndicate coming out this Friday. Friday, October 23rd. Yes, that's the dates of this week. I just finished watching the IGN premiere event. They just did a little live stream out of London. Some really cool footage. We saw a little bit of Jacob, a little bit of Evie. If you did not just watch it, lasted about an hour. There was some stuff that, they talked to the dev team, did some questions, did some interviews. There was some little stuff because of this big event in there, if you skip through all that. But, all this, everything that was shown on this live stream can be seen on IGN.com or the app, or there's also the PS4 and Xbox One app. I know I seem like I'm just sitting here and I'm campaigning for IGN. That's not what I'm doing. I'm here to talk to you about Assassin's Creed. But before that, if you like this video, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook. Like the Facebook page, follow me on Twitter. My website link is also in the bottom. Will take you to my website where I do all my reviews, and I'll be doing some stuff with AC Syndicate once I complete the game and have it all reviewed. All that stuff will be in. I'll probably have like a play diary kind of thing going on that. So all that. Now, into the fun stuff. Into Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So excited for this game. It looks great. Seeing a lot of really cool stuff out of this. I mean, maybe not some new stuff, I guess, but, we open up, we got to see a little bit of gameplay with, oh my god, my brain hurts right now. We open up with a little bit of gameplay from, Jacob. We got to see, kind of his, running around, a little bit of his combat, very brutal combat, really, really fast-paced, way better than Unity's kind of slow, sluggish combat. And we did get to see a interesting. It's a systemic kind of activity, and by systemic meaning it just pops up in the world on the Thames, the big river, kind of in London, where he does a boat raid, where you have like a little bit of time. You go through this boat, try and get this manifest, mark. You mark certain cargo, and you before it reaches its destination, you take the cargo and you get crafting components and whatnot. And this brings up the contacts, which are these. You meet certain people. Charles Darwin's Dickens. There's a little orphan girl. A cop. Henry Green is another assassin. A bunch of, I believe Karl Marx is in there. That's really cool. But you meet a lot of historical people, and you do certain little side stuff for them, and they give you the, you hit like a certain, level. It's kind of like the loyalty meter in Metal Gear Solid 5. You hit a certain point, you get, here's a special weapon, or this outfit or something, They got some nice little stuff. It also showed off some of these little challenges that are showing up. We all know the little thing, it's like, here's your main objective, and underneath is the little side objective that if you want to complete it for 100%, blah, 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 blah. Which, people like me, when I eat that stuff up, I love those little things. But no, these little challenges are really interesting. They're little, kind of like they pop up, and it's like, oh, you did this so many times and this so many times, and if you get that, you get a special, like kind of like a buff. It's like, it's complete so many like multi kills. You hit harder. You get little buffs, and a neat little. Sorry, it's a neat little system, kind of keep playing and whatnot. Oh, this is from the dev team, though. Apparently, this game, and I've seen the map, it is huge. I think saying huge is just, I think it's a bit of an understatement. This is actually the biggest world we've seen in AC. Very excited to, I'm very excited to play inside this London. Really, really fun. But the big thing that we saw in this Jacob chunk was I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. It was a mission given by Charles Darwin. I believe the mission is called Unnatural Selection. It kind of introduces Darwin and, him, Jacob meet. They were talking over some of the dialogue, but what I could hear and what I could pick up, Darwin's this, a really kind of fun-loving, kind of a little bit of a wacky character, but, he plays really well off Jacob. We see an interesting. Sorry about that. We see a nice little mission. Jacob goes through stealthily and then gets detected and you gotta fight your way out. But it's I don't think anything, I guess, different from what you've seen in a lot of the others. It's just kind of a different setting and different. Shows some new burrows, some new music. And if I might say that the music in this game is phenomenal. From what I've been hearing, each burrow has kind of different kind of musical feel to it. It's very, like the Robert Downey, the very Sherlock Holmes movies. Really, really good soundtrack. I might throw that in there. In between these two little gameplay sections, they did some kind of little Q&A with the devs, and somebody asked a little question. Like I keep talking to people, and they keep kind of ripping on this. It's like with AC and it's the weapons and their historical accuracy. It's like, oh look, with Shay and Rogue, he had the little, he had the air rifle, and it's like, well, why does he have a grenade launcher? And I'm like, it's not a grenade launcher. It launches grenades using air pressure from the air rifle. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a little out there and a little magical, but I think they hit on this in saying, that's it's probably not, it's not accurate to the times, but we kind of want it to be that kind of little, you see how they design it, how it works. It's kind of like the rope launcher in this one. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but the more and more I see of it, I'm like, okay, it kind of fits, it kind of works. It's believable. The one that I have a little tougher time believing is the voltaic bomb. But with people like Alexander Graham Bell in this game, it makes sense. Kind of like with Franklin for Shay, with some of his inventions, or obviously with Ezio there was Da Vinci, and everybody kind of wants to say, well, how does Da Vinci have a tank? And I'm like, yeah. He technically designed what eventually became the helicopter. The aerial screw. That's a fun word. Enough of my little rambling on that, But I just thought that was fairly interesting. The second part that we got to see was a new, maybe not new activity. It's an activity called Templar Hunt. You go into an area, you have a target or two, you take them out, you escape. Little side mission, but we got to see a new one. We got to see it played by Eevee, and this was done actually by vote of the IGN community. Went on their website or the app and voted for which twin you wanted to see it play as. I think Eevee won with 54%. Personally, voted for Jacob. I don't know. I like Jacob's beat the crap out of people mentality. It's kind of fun. I just think Jacob's I find him really funny, but at the same time, I'll talk more about that at the end, I'm sorry. But we got to see this mission done by Eevee, and if you want to see it done by Jacob, it will also be up on IGN, I'm going to assume on their YouTube channel and other places. And again, it was a lot like the Jacob stuff, very straightforward, kind of just a different variant on what we've seen before. The chameleon ability is still, I'm a little iffy on. It's where if Eevee stands still long enough, she'll basically turn invisible, and that's a little, I don't know, that's a little out there, but it's Assassin's Creed. I'm not looking for pinpoint realism. The only one weird thing that I really keep seeing is just, and it's a thing with all AC games. It's the NPC reaction where it's like they had this chunk where Eevee was taking cover. A guy walks to a corner. He grabs him, flips him over her back, and he's assassinates him around the corner. And there's this dude just going, "Oh my." Channel my inner George Takei there. It's really just a weird kind of I don't know. Sometimes it's believable, you know. It's like you see somebody get hit in the head with a knife, and everybody goes, "Oh God," and runs. I mean, but sometimes they just kind of stand there and look at you and question. I'm like, it's a little odd, but yeah, I guess it's gonna be there. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I guess my closing thoughts. It's just everything I've been seeing. You know, I'm really liking the characters this time around. They have just such a cool duality to them. It's, you know, you have Evie, who's the more, she's being described by the devs, you know, more the Altairs, the, you know, focuses on the Creed and the Pieces of Eden and the, you know, this, that, and while Jacob's just, he's all happy to, you know, have the gang and, you know, just kind of do his thing, you know. And I think, as they keep saying, you know, it's like, you see some interesting moments between them where it's, you know, it's like, I think, as they explained it, Jacob tries to pull Evie towards the chaos, but Evie's trying to pull Jacob away from it. You know, you see them kind of butt heads each other on, you know, like how things should be done. You know, while Jacob's all excited for this gang, Evie, and trying to take down, you know, the main villain, Evie's all, oh, we should, you know, find the piece of Eden, you know, do the assassin-y way, the assassin-y things. I know there was a thing in a trailer where, you know, they're just like one last, and you're just like, shall we one last time? Yeah, and the other responds with, yes, and this is the end. Or it's like, and then we're done. You know, I'm gonna guess we're gonna see a split between the brother and sister, and then they're gonna go their separate ways and come back together. It's gonna be a big thing. I also want to ask whether or not Evie and Jacob will have one more game. They kind of did the little, you know, how Ubisoft loves to do this, you know, and it annoys the hell out of me when they do. It's like, they answer the question without answering the question. So it's like, well, are we going to see these guys another one? They're like, maybe, we don't know. You know, it's like, will we see, you know, are the AC games going to keep moving forward in time? They're like, maybe not. You know, I mean, everything I'm seeing, I'd love to see them have another game, kind of like, I'd love to see these two have more games, kind of like Ezio. But, you know, only time will tell with that. Only time will tell if this game holds up as one of the good ACs or falls into the bad pile. And I'm really hoping it's going to be good. In a weird way, I think they do their best work after the quote-unquote the bad games. Kind of like, you know, like 4 was amazing after 3. You know, I mean, I don't think that's because 3 was bad, or no, I don't want to say bad, I liked parts of 3, but I don't want to say that's because 4 was so much better than 3. I think 4 was just really good on its own. You know, I think a good AC game holds up, even if it didn't follow a quote-unquote bad one. But yeah, I really think, you know, I think Syndicate's kind of following the ad train that 4 had, where it's kind of flying in under the radar until like you know, this like week and a half, 2 weeks before the release, where it's like, now we're gonna say, hey, this game's coming out, check out what we're doing. Everybody's like, okay, and a lot of people who just weren't, you know, were kind of like, maybe, are now going, okay, well, maybe we got something here. So, you know, only time will tell. Check out, I'll have a video up on this Friday, along with my normally weekly episode, and if you don't normally watch my channel, I only have like 2 episodes up, but, you know, I do a weekly video about gaming news, you know, just kind of like a little bit of a wrap-up of the week, along with, and, you know, and this Friday I will have an initial, you know, kind of like, well, here's my current thoughts on the game. I'll be getting the game at midnight and playing it pretty much all Friday and all weekend. So yeah, keep checking out my channel, keep checking out for videos about that. Check my weekly show. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, like the Facebook page, check out my website for my reviews, and I guess, you know, like I said, my gameplay, I'm going to say, you know, my gameplay journal for my AC playthrough, and eventually my Fallout 4. That's probably the next big thing I'll be doing after Syndicate's done. Is that all? Yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, follow me on all the stuff, like the, you know, all that. Any last minute comments? I'm just trying to make sure I covered all the AC stuff I saw. I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm out, guys. Thanks.